Hey everyone, it's Eric with firearmtutorials.com, and today we're going to look at a comparison between the FNX 45 Tactical and the USP 45 Tactical. Both of these are terrific handguns. These are two of the best suppressor-ready tactical handguns on the market. You can't go wrong with either one of these, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a look at sort of the pros and cons and which one I think is better for certain things. And let's get right into it. I'm going to go through, like I said, it was very close when I had to do this, but I thought it was a good idea. So let's start with the FNX 45 Tactical. I'm going to say the advantage here over the USP is ambidextrous controls. So you've got the slide release here, obviously on the left and right side. You've got the safety and decock levers on both sides, as well as the magazine release. So great advantage for the left-hand shooters or anybody that just wants to be able to manipulate the gun with both left or right hands. So definitely an advantage there. If you look at the USP, nada. We've got the ability to add the safety and decock lever to the other side, which is an expensive option depending on where you find the part. It's anywhere from $60 to $100. Then you've got the slide release only on the left side of the gun here. No option to add it to the right side, so you're stuck just using it with the left side. The magazine release is ambidextrous on this guy. So you've got the paddle-like release there. Some people hate it, some people love it. When I was new to HK, I didn't mind it at all. I'm used to it now, so I'm not going to get into whether the magazine release is pro or con, but that's ambidextrous, so advantage FN. Let's talk about factory, I'll say factory accessories, which is basically what you get with the gun. So with the FN, you get the 3 magazines, you get a zippered case. With the USP Tactical, you get 2 mags and maybe $10 plastic case. For a $1,000 gun, I'll have to give the advantage to the FN. Also, the FN comes with the night sights, which the USP doesn't. So I'll definitely give the advantage to FN there. Another thing I want to talk about, another advantage for the FN, the Picatinny rail. So you've got a native Picatinny rail here. You can attach any type of flashlights or pretty much any accessory you want on there. The USP, you're pretty much stuck buying this proprietary rail from GG&G that goes on the USP, whether it's a full size or a compact. There's 2 different models. It works very well, but again, this is a $60, $70 accessory, which, is found from the factory by FN. So got to give another advantage there for the Picatinny rail. Magazine capacity. So you've got 15 rounds out of the FN, 12 out of the HK. 15 rounds for a 45 is awesome. I mean, for a normal size magazine, I don't think you can beat that. Glock will give you 13, but like I said, HK, you've only got 12, so another one for FN. Serviceability. So the FN, and I learned this after I did my own review on it, but I'll cover this real quick. These rails on here and the inside can actually be replaced. You can pop some of these pins out, actually replace the metal rail that the slide rides on. So if you are essentially going to wear the pistol out because you've shot it too much and the rails are starting to show wear or they get nicked up or something like that, you can just replace them, which is a really cool feature. I haven't seen any other guns that do that. Obviously, you can't do that on the HK because they're part of the frame. Recoil. So the USP has its patented dual spring recoil reduction system. The FN uses a method where the slide goes back further and exposes the barrel more. Shooting these side by side, got to give the advantage to FN. It actually does do a great job at recoil reduction. USP does a good job too, I guess, for a 45, but it doesn't beat the FN. So again, there we are for the FN. I have to mention this just because the ability to add a red dot you know, not critical for, you know, these kind of pistols, but again, it's another nice feature to have. You know, you can just unscrew this guy, bolt down your red dot, and you're ready to go. If you wanted to go that route on the USP, you'd obviously have to have something done, milled down, and, you know, have the holes tapped for that. So if you really wanted to go that route, you could, but it's expensive, and you know, you'd have to find somebody that knows how to do that. Last, let's see, number 8 for the FN would be ergonomics. The HK is not bad, but with this you get a more aggressive checkering on the grip. You get replaceable back straps. There's a couple different ones for different sizes, and you've also got a little more room here. I mean, I have pretty big hands, and I've still got plenty of room on this guy, to whereas you look at the USP, if I don't have this extended floor plate here, my pinky's going to hang off. So got to give it to FN for that. Now let's switch over to the HK. Reliability I'm going to give to HK. If you, not that the FN is not reliable, I'm not saying that at all, but if you look at the video I did with the FN exclusively, had trouble cycling ammo on it with a suppressor. The HK, it'll run all day. So I have to give the reliability to HK. Trigger, better on the HK. The FN, again, it doesn't have a bad trigger, but when you compare the pull weight on the USP, you're talking single action 3.1 pounds, double action 9.8. And these are my own measurements, by the way. FN 4.7 in single action, 10.6 in double action. Significant difference there. Along with the trigger pull weight, the brake is crisper on the USP. You've got the adjustable over travel screw in the trigger, which obviously you don't have on the FN. So I'm going to give the advantage to HK on the trigger for sure. Sight radius goes to HK. Now if you look at these, they look very similar, and they actually, in this case, they are. If I match up the front, the sights are very close on this. However, I have aftermarket sights on this USP. From the factory, it comes with adjustable ones, which sit back further on the gun, which would give you a longer sight radius. So I'm going to give sight radius to the USP. Another winner for the USP, I'm going to say, is accuracy. Again, that's kind of because of the longer sight radius. I'm not a good enough shooter to say for sure one of these is better than the other, but you know, HK has a reputation for producing very reliable and accurate handguns. You know, that goes back to the Mark 23, which this gun evolved from. So I'm going to go ahead and give accuracy to that. Another one for the USP is the slide release. So as I mentioned, it's only on the one side, but it's huge. And it's very easy to use, and there's no way that your thumb or your finger or however you operate this thing is not going to find this release. It's very easy to use. Versus when you look at the FN, it's this tiny, tiny little tucked away. It's got some plastic around it, and it's a little difficult to operate. Sure, you've got it on both sides, but you know I can deploy the slide a lot faster with this huge lever on the side than I can with the two small ones on the FN. So advantage there. Finish, they're very close, but I'm still going to give it to HK. It's they both are obviously going to be great finishes. They're going to be durable, and they're going to hold up in harsh environments. Now, when I say harsh environments, HK has a patented harsh environment finish, and it's just a little sleeker, and it doesn't seem to show fingerprints as well. You know, I just overall, it seems like just a better finish, just by, not by much, but it's still noticeable. Slide serrations, I give to the HK. Now, if you see the FN, we've got them on the front and the rear, but when you actually use them and compare them side by side, the HKs are a little deeper and they're a little further apart, so it's just, to me, a little bit easier to operate with the larger rear slide serrations on the HK. This one I had to think about for a while, but I gave it to the HK, and that was the hammer design. So if you look at the hammers here, you've got a all steel hammer on the FN, and you've got a rubber coated hammer on the USP. So the USP was given the rubber hammer because it was a requirement for if the gun were to be dropped, you could still operate the gun, or it's supposed to provide a better safety mechanism and better durability because the end is rubber. I guess they're thinking the piece of rubber will break off before the actual internal hammer part breaks. I like the texture on the all steel one, but I'm going to give that to HK because I feel like that's a little more innovative design versus just sticking a steel hammer on the back. So in the end, there's one I didn't cover with the FN, and that was price. So like I said, most of the advantages that the FN had were features and stuff that you get when you buy the gun. And the price of these are pretty close. MSRP, like I said, I couldn't find on the FN, but they're very close. And for what you get, especially with the extra magazine, the third magazine, I have to give it to the FN. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. And thanks for watching.